Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome back. It's Jordan here. Today we're going to be taking a detailed look at the LEGO UCS Jabba's Sail Barge from 2024, brand new. Thank you so much LEGO for sending me the set early to review. I highly appreciate it. I just finished building it last night. The build of it was a lot of fun. This thing is crazy huge. Like, look how big it is. It's pretty rock solid too. And I love all the different angles within the set and the building techniques to achieve those angles, and just the overall look of it is incredible. Also, the minifigure lineup is pretty sweet as well. So I posted a review video on this set, and two of the main pieces of feedback that I got in the comment section was, of course, the price. A lot of people are concerned about the $500 US price tag on this set. Has 3,942 pieces, and a lot of people think that it should be a little bit cheaper. They think that it should be around $450, maybe $430 or $400, which I do understand. This is a very expensive set, and it is an Ultimate Collector Series set, which always sort of go for a premium, and it seems like the prices of LEGO sets have gone up gradually over the years, along with the prices of everything. But today I want to take a look at this set, prices aside. Let's just look at the minifigures. Let's have an in-depth look at the details found within the construction of it. And also, we're going to place it on the shelf and see how it looks with some of the other LEGO Star Wars Ultimate Collector Series sets. A lot of people have been saying that this set here is going to be like the other reddish brown sets, and eventually these pieces are going to become brittle and break. I don't think that's going to be the case, because I think LEGO has addressed that problem and they are no longer making reddish brown pieces that are going to become brittle. I think that is something of the past, and we don't have to worry about that problem with new sets coming out in 2024. Sure, if it's an older set like the UCS Sandcrawler and you're buying that brand new sealed in box, you might have to be worried about the brittle brown, but for the new stuff, I think they've got that problem fixed. Starting with the sails of the sail barge, I think that's a good place to start. These are actually fabric, not vinyl, which is nice. Mine became a little bit bent in the package there. I discovered that this morning, and I don't have the necessary tools to fix it. I think maybe an iron with an iron board and a protective cloth, maybe I can flatten that out. But yeah, mine did become a little bit bent on the tips, or maybe just time is going to fix that. Being a UCS set, it does come with a printed specifications plaque, which is quite nice. And sitting beside that is Jabba the Hutt. He's got his own little stand right there. Jabba the Hutt is two pieces. First off, we've got the lower body and tail. It's got some print detailing on that lower body, 360 degrees, and you would be able to adapt this to studs, of course. There's the pinhole right there. That's how you attach his upper body. Just like that there. And his arms do articulate, and of course you can rotate his head 360 degrees as well. He's got some print detailing on his back and also an arm tattoo there. And his face just represents Jabba the Hutt. So yeah, pretty cool minifig. I like it. His arms would be able to grab and hold onto things as well. I have another Jabba in my collection from the 2013 sail barge. So there's the 2024 one. Note the print detailing underneath the chin, and then the print detailing on this one. So it is a little bit different. So this is an updated Jabba the Hutt. However, the differences are very small. I actually really like the fact that we get a stand for all the other minifigures in the set. So the set comes with 11 figures, and look at that, you get a stand for them all. That is cool. However, the stand is starting to bow a little bit, and that's just because we've sandwiched two plates together and we put tiles on top. So it is starting to bow, which doesn't really present nicely. I did sandwich them together and press them as hard as I possibly could, and it still bowed. So there is that. But we do have C-3PO right here. There are no dual molded legs on C-3PO. He does have some of the silver print detailing on his left leg there. And he's right beside Bib Fortuna. I like the Bib Fortuna. He's got a really neat head decoration. But the thing is when you look at it from behind, you can actually see his alternate face popping out below that head decoration. There's the molded head decoration and also his alternate face. Next up is Woof with the really neat hair element and torso. The hair almost looks like a helmet of sorts, and the head detailing is pretty nice. Then we've got Max Rebo, highly desired. Everybody wants Max Rebo. This is the old Max Rebo. I think they're essentially exactly the same. I don't see any differences. At least in my eyes, they look identical. So I don't think it's a new Max Rebo. Beside him is Cathaba, and then we have Hutt Slayer Leia. And it looks like they decided to put her in shorts this time around, and they also updated her hair decoration. I love the way the pony comes around the front. Very cool. But yeah, they've put her in shorts, and those are actually dual molded legs. This is the 2013 Hutt Slayer Leia. I simply love the Gamorrean Guard minifigure. Like, look at that decoration. It's similar to Chewbacca, where like his head and body are all one single piece. You can see all the print detailing on there. Super cool. And then we can just slide that on just like that. He sits beside Vizam. Vizam's head element is really neat. And then we have R2-D2 as the table or like bartender. I like these elements on that 2x4 tan plate or dark tan plate. Look, there's a cup, and this one here actually has some brown liquid in it, and the one in front actually has some like yellowish brown liquid in it as well. And then we have Salacious Crumb. This is such a cool little molded figure. That is so nice. It's a pretty good crew of minifigures here. I think some of them might be lacking in the leg print detailing department, but besides that, it's pretty good. And so it should be. This is an iconic ship, and they're doing it right here for a UCS sail barge in 2024. This set is absolutely massive, which matches up perfectly with all of those minifigures. It stretches 77 centimeters or 30.5 inches long. Its height and width are essentially the same. 25 centimeters or approximately 11 inches. Finding a shelf for this will be rather difficult. I love the build of it though, like the angles and everything look fantastic. I mean, it is all reddish brown, but that's to be expected. It is Jabba's sail barge, right? Like that's just to be expected. I love these angles on the front here. Like the builds to get this like looking like that was absolutely amazing. We've got some wedge plates in there, also some of the hinge plates, and then there's a ball joint that's holding this component right at that perfect angle. And of course, as you go through and build this, you construct one side and then you construct the other side. And the accessibility of this set is absolutely fantastic. Like all of these panels open up, and also the top deck can be removed. The sails, they are held in place by a pretty cool construction. We've got a large ball joint in there, so you can actually hinge the sails. Then you can see some like dinosaur tails right there just to add some more detail. There's some axles that run the full length of the sails. And then of course we have these like Technic balls coming through the top of them, holding them in place. But they can hinge so you can gain access to the top deck. They do come quite close to the top deck, so it is going to be rather difficult to pose your minifigures with the sails in place, and they might hide some of that detail a little bit when they're in place as well. But if you get down, you can sort of peer underneath the sails and see all the details of the top deck, and they can also very easily be removed. The side panels are textured with studs, and also the tiles. We've got just two colors there, the dark brown and the reddish brown. They do line up quite nicely. This one could maybe use like a little bit more of an alignment there. You can see when I press it all the way in and I press this one all the way in, there's a little bit of a gap there, but nothing serious. Like it's pretty much perfection, and the fact that these all open individually is super cool. And this one here is the only one that's tacked down at the top. It actually goes into the rubber pieces of the top deck there. We've got more texture on this large panel as well with the grill elements, and this is actually an added feature as well. These can all flip open to reveal the interior, so we can flip that open. I'd imagine some people would be, or some henchmen or whatever, maybe would be sticking their rifles through there and shooting. And you can see the connecting elements on the top of those panels. They can be opened up all the way along, and they're nicely concealed by this like guard or covering, which will actually go over top of them. And below that we have this rudder here. Unfortunately, there's some sticker detail, and the color of those stickers don't really match up with the reddish brown, which is a little bit unfortunate. We've got the dark brown, reddish brown, and then some studs on those wedge plates, and also some tiles as well. This can fully articulate as it's held in place by some Technic elements. in that ball joint there, so we can fully articulate that. And there's the added detail of the wizard's wand on the bottom. Just like the front of the barge, the back is really well shaped. We've got the center panel there, which is built using the large wedge plates, and then the side panels are actually attached to that using ball joints. You can see they move a little bit there, but they do a great job of matching the angles of the other panels. There's not a huge gap there, plus it gives it that rounded shape. There is a construction on the bottom here. I believe this is the sail barge's thrusters. Tiled off in reddish brown, got some brackets there as well, so we can put those grill elements. Then there's some added details with that rounded connector element and also some wizard's wands. You better believe that the base of this thing, of course, is Technic, but then for the most part, the rest of the build is all system. What I really like about the build is it features 3 stands that actually suspend it off the ground. You can see those Technic and system built stands right there, and there, and those are attached to the Technic frame of the barge with Technic pins. It's very easy to remove the sail so we can get a clear view of the deck. There's a closer look at the structure underneath those sails there. And the deck, what I really like about it is it's fully tiled off. We've got some jumpers, the rounded tiles, studs so we can pose the minifigures. It's all in dark bluish gray. And then look at that railing going around the entire deck as well, built with the flex tubing, clipped in place with the ratchet connectors, and also those clip elements. You can see they go down right there, and then there's a new piece that goes there, and then one that flexes around the entire back of the ship. Very, very cool. We've got some added detail here as well, such as this large cannon on the top. This is so cool. It doesn't actually shoot anything, which is fine with me. I don't really need stud shooters or spring-loaded shooters in the build, but it can hinge back and forth and it can rotate, and it's just a nicely detailed cannon. Then we have 2 other turrets as well that are actually clipped onto the flex tubing, and those can just pivot upward and downward, and of course you could position those anywhere you want. It's a pretty cool build with the candlestick on the end. There's some, I guess, other color up here. We've got some grill elements, and then also the added detail of the antennas, or sorry, not antennas, but whips rather, and they just sort of curve around the front there. And then one of the mixer elements and also a ball. There are some doors right here. These can be opened up, so we can flip them open just like that. And that's how you can send cargo down to the bottom. And there's also ladders that will connect to them as well. So it's a way that you can access the top deck of the sail barge. And then there's one other way. This here, it's a 6x6 tile that can very easily be removed. And these will flip open as well. And there's actually a large sort of staircase on the bottom of that and a ladder that leads up to the top deck as well that's branching off that staircase. And we'll see that when we flip this thing open, which is very easy to do. Once again, all these panels open up, and also these deck pieces are very easy to remove. So if I open it up like this, you can see these components right here just go into the rubberized elements, which are actually built right into the deck. And this whole deck can be removed. It's not held in by any studs, but rather it's just gravity, and it actually interlocks. You can see there's a notch right there, and it just blends in perfectly with that piece, which is a 1x2 tile. And we can open this up, open that up, open this side, and then we can also remove this as well. So it's fully accessible, although I have it flipped the wrong way. All the details are on the other side. I love the fact that this thing is just so accessible. Like, that is just awesome. Now we can actually get in there. We can see all the building techniques to create those interesting angles on the front and back panels. And of course, we can check out all the interior details. Starting with the cockpit, we've got 2 chairs done in reddish brown and dark orange. They can lean back and the headrest can articulate as well. There's 3 screens, the largest one with the sail barge in the center there, and that's above the controls. And then there's one on either side. Those are stickers, unfortunately. There are some more controls on the left and right hand side of the chairs. We've got some printed wedge plates, 1x2 tiles, and also the 1x1 tile as well. I removed this panel. You can see it was just held in place by 2 ball joints, which is pretty cool. That's what the interior of the panel looks like. You can just see all the different shapes and angles that just match up nicely with the shapes and angles of the sail barge. Behind the seats is the brick-built sliding door, and it just slides on the rail plates that are on the top and bottom. Behind that is the armory and also the jail cell. The ladders on the right side go up to the top deck. The jail cell is also very accessible. We can just grab this and pull the back wall out, and then we can also grab the entire cell and bring it out like that, as both things are just held in place by a 1x4 jumper, and there is an added sticker detail on the wall there. And there is a pretty nice selection of axes, machetes, and blasters on the armory wall. This is the staircase that will lead up to the top deck there. It connects to that ladder. I like the color of it, mix in some nougat and reddish brown. Change up the color a bunch, not really, I guess. We've got the triangular shape of it, which is pretty cool. I like the fact that it can be removed so we can actually access the interior details of the kitchen, where we have a stove with like an oven range above. There is all sorts of utensils mounted to the wall using those clip elements, such as the knife, the fork, the spoon. There's a glass element, which almost looks like a martini glass. You see it there right below the fish. That's pretty cool. There's a little cabinet there on the left with the black drawers. And then there is a garbage can and also a couple more sticker elements on the wall there. And a knife and a bottle. And then we can also, of course, see it from up here as well. So we can get right in there and check out all those details of the kitchen. You probably noticed that it's all tiled off as well, which I highly appreciate. It just cleans it up so much. And in the next chamber, we've got Jabba's bed, the massive bed, which is built using bricks. There's a jumper there so you can position Jabba. There's also some texture with those palisade bricks. And then it has a nice curved design with all of the curved slopes around the edge. And there is a large handrail there around back. And that's built using various reddish brown elements such as slopes, arches, and tiles. There's a sticker element of Jabba there right below that light or torch. And you'll notice that those torches are found all throughout the interior of this thing. And then on the back side of the bed, there is a chest right here. And within that chest is some chains. And that allows us to set up Leia and Jabba just like that there. And beside Jabba, you'll notice this thing right there. I believe that represents his like hookah or smoking device. And this is his entertainment room. So beside that, we've got a spot for Max Rebo as well. And the support pillars are pretty cool because they are lampposts in nougat, and he'll just stand in there. It's got some decoration, which is sticker elements, and I believe we can pull this right out and have a look at it. Yeah, it's just like his little booth there. Nothing too crazy back there. Just enough room for Max Rebo in this. Jabba's bed can also be removed from the sail barge, so you can put him on display just like that. We've got Jabba, Salacious Crumb behind, and then once again, his little smoking apparatus there, and the nicely detailed railing behind him. There's the box for the UCS sail barge. It also had two interior boxes with movie stills of Max Rebo and also Salacious Crumb. There's the sticker sheet, which I used. It had two instruction manuals, and within the first instruction manual is a write-up about the set. So we can learn about Jabba's sail barge. Also, we can meet the designers within the first few pages. There's also a bunch of movie stills. And it's pretty cool. It's actually a fairly lengthy write-up. And you can just see some of the other pairing sets, such as the desert skiff. Meet the whole crew there. And then, of course, on the last page, you're going to learn how to pick this thing up as well and see one of the original models, which is pretty cool. It's definitely a great addition to the LEGO Star Wars room, and it was pretty easy to place because there's not very many shelves that can accommodate that massive set. For example, it wouldn't fit on one of my standard bookcases over here. I could put it on the island in the center, but that's sort of like Star Destroyers and Millennium Falcon. And I could put it here as well, but I sort of like the UCS General Grievous there. There is space on this shelf. For example, I could put one more shelf right there, but that would sort of throw the balance off, and I didn't really want to do that. So I decided to start developing these massive shelves right over here, where I've got the Mos Eisley Cantina and also the Death Star playset, and now Jabba's sail barge. I also decided to move the Desert Skiff and Sarlacc pit over here, just because they sort of match up. It's funny, throughout this video, I was articulating these sails side to side and forward and backward, but I don't think I presented it like this. And this is, of course, its standard position. The sails overlapping sort of on a downward angle like that, but boy, oh boy, this fabric is definitely bothering me. How am I going to fix that? But I think it looks good with all the minifigures out front. We got Jabba and the UCS specifications plaque, all the figures, and it looks great. Maybe what I need to do is come up with a new shelf that'll have these 3 sets, and then I could also add Luke's land speeder and the UCS sandcrawler. That might make sense. But there we go, everybody. That's the Ultimate Collector Series Jabba Sail Barge. Besides the price, what do you think of it? I think it's pretty cool. Maybe some of those minifigures could have some additional details. It's expensive, but I think they did a spectacular job on it. It looks amazing. I love the accessibility aspect of it as well. Thank you so much for coming on by. Please remember to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for some more great stuff coming out in the near future. Farewell.